G'day humans, Chris Dead here. I'm on the road. Today I'm in Denpasar Airport. I've just arrived from Sydney, Australia. I'm going to show you a bit of a tour of what the arrivals experience is like, take you through the visa on arrival, take you through the arrivals declaration you now have to do, the new process, and everything you need to know. So when you land here in Bali, potentially with your kids, you don't have to be stressed. You can just go straight through. All right, let's go. Okay, so when you arrive in the hall, you're going to come down from either the top over there, so you arrive upstairs and you come down the escalators, and you'll come down that way, or you'll come down from this way. So you'll come from Garuda kind of lands that way, and then your Jetstar's Qantas and that, they come from this direction. You just come down, it's this huge open space, all roads lead here. Lots of great art, you'll hear the music, get the smell. The smashing heat will already hit you through the glass. It's air conditioned in here, but just getting through the kind of walkway from the plane. It's always beautiful art. Now, you would have wanted to have done your arrival card, ideally back in Australia, before you left, or wherever you're coming from, right? It looks a bit, well, I can't show it to you. It's actually, I just realised it's got my private information on it. But they'll give you a QR code, basically, that you need to flash at the end. But if you haven't, you can come here and sign up on these. There's Wi-Fi available in the airport for free. It works well too, it's not sketchy internet, and that will pretty much sort you out. You just have to go through it. Now you have to go through one for each passenger, so if you're travelling as a family, it's really a good idea to have already got your arrival card process done. Now the visa on arrival, now you can organise visas before you get here, but you can't do it like just before you leave. Every time I've forgotten to do it in time, and there's some weird payment things that you get. I found if you try and do it beforehand, there's like third-party companies and things like that will try and take more off you than you need. So really, you got the visa on arrival. So you come here, and all you have to do, you don't have to stress about it. You can just walk up to any of these booths. You see all these booths here? Now today is an unbelievably quiet day. Usually it's packed. Sorry, I shouldn't say it's packed. Usually it's about 4 or 5 deep in each queue, and you can wait here. You know, I've never really probably waited longer than 20 odd so minutes, but you know, you just want to get to your resort, right? Today's pretty good. So my tip to you is just to have a look and see if you can see how many heads there are in each booth, Indonesian heads that is, and then try and make sure there's at least 2 in the booth that you're at, and then it usually moves a lot quicker, the queue. And there's also a secret booth, which I'll show you right now, which often gets missed. I've come here before and there's been huge queues for these booths, and then there's booth 6 over here, which basically is like out of alignment with the others, but functions exactly the same way. So keep an eye on that, because sometimes you can jump the queue or get a quicker queue there. All right, so once you've got paid for your visa, it's going to give you a little you get a little receipt with your passport, and I'll give you to take with you when you get to your next section. And you've got to go through the immigration part of it. So you have passport control, and you got the queue here. And a lot of people are queued up in it today. I don't know why. But you can just go through the electronic booths they've got now here. So I'm going to give that a crack, see if I can see you on the other side. Okay, so I've just got through there, fine. No one else seems to be getting through too well though. And I think it's because you've got to have your arrival card done before you try and go through there, because it reads the passport number and goes, you haven't done your arrival card. So I think that's what she was saying to other people. But yeah, it worked for me. And then through the duty free to get your luggage. Now, I just want to give you one extra tip, other than there's alcohol here. I always pay in rupiah, so they ask you, is it rupiah? Indonesian money, because the exchange rate's usually a lot better. So if you got a card that doesn't charge you a fee, if you can pay in US, you can pay in Australian dollars, I think. You definitely pay in Australian dollars. It tends to be a higher rate than just paying in the local currency and then converting it, at your bank back in Australia. Obviously, it's not such a big issue when there's one of you. You're travelling. I'm usually travelling with a group of 5, for kids. 5 times that bag conversion rate, it really adds up. All right, so I get the baggage, and then we go to the last section. So as you come out of duty free there, walk in, you turn towards number 6. At the back of number 6 is where you're going to find your oversized baggage drop, and also your baggage services if anything goes wrong. Also toilet right there as well, just for FYI. Trolleys are readily available and free, so I'd like to see. Well, this is one of the worst baggage claim waits I've had in a long time. I've been standing here for at least half an hour now. Everyone has. Don't know where our bags are. Don't know who owns these bags. Righto, well that was a real painful wait. They had like 6 planes on our conveyor belt, and none of them, there was no bags coming out. There's so many people waiting around. But anyway, one's finally made it. So I'll take you to the next section. So you're walking past all the baggage claims and then coming up here is where you're going to have to show your QR code from your arrival card, which you've hopefully done at home. I've just got an image of the QR code on my phone. And then you've also got your visa that you paid for. So they're connected to each other. You can see people here who haven't done it. There's always people who walk up and haven't done it. And that's the line there. You can usually it moves quick unless someone's in the queue who doesn't have their bloody arrival card. And they're like, what do I do? And then that whole queue grinds to a halt. So it's a bit luck of the draw, to be honest. Fingers crossed. I chose wisely. So pretty much straight through, scan a QR code. It's that easy. Obviously if you're here with a family, you've got to scan everyone's QR code. And now from here, you've got a bit of a maze to go through. So there's a customs inspection there. I've never actually been asked or seen anyone get asked to get inspected, but anyway, sure it happens. Right, so now there's like a run of shops, lots of people who want to exchange your money for you, lots of people who want to sell you an eSIM, and at the end of that, a bit of food. There's people touting deals, and I'm not really sure if it's better value here or not. You can see there's a lot of it going on. Alright, so you're now outside in Bali. We're trying to get to the other side. There's the information centre, by the way, if you need it. You can see it over there. It's the other side of that wall. Alright. Yeah, look, I've had mixed luck with both eSIMs and just like using Optus here in Bali. Like I had Optus just not work and just charge me anyway. And I've had like big reputable eSIMs just not work. It's a bit hit and miss. You will see some messaging where they say you've got to register your device if you're going to connect to a local eSIM. That's only true if you're going to be here for more than 90 days, which you can't even do on a standard visa. Okay, there's Johnny Rockets. So you get some food over here, Starbucks. And you're going to continue to walk through the maze, and if you've never been to Indonesia before, get used to it. Walking out of every major landmark's going to do this to you. It'll weave you through all the shops. Now over there you can see all the cars, so you've still got to keep walking around. You're going to see, depending on what you've organised, a placard with a name on it, or a hotel. You see airport taxis and things like this. Alternatively, you can just order Grab. Grab's the Uber over here, and if you usually there's some sort of sign-up bonus as well, or your first trip's half price, or there's various things they've got, so you can just get out of here on a Grab, and it's fine. Now, I just want to give you one quick last tip, and that is that it looks like this is the only place where your drivers will be. And you'll be tempted to walk down here and you won't see your name and you'll freak out and you'll walk back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So the reality is, you can go around the corner here and all the way down to the, all the way down around the corner here, and they keep going. So there's a whole bunch of people who actually choose not to stay in this throng, but instead walk around this corner and go straight ahead, and you'll see a shop right at the far end. I'll show you in a second.
Taxi.
Circle K right down the end there. So you can walk all the way down to the Circle K before you give up. So your name could be down there. Alright, there you go guys. That is a tour, I guess a review of the arrivals experience here at Denpasar Airport in Bali, Indonesia. I hope I've helped you. It's a lot easier than it feels like it's going to be. It's really quite well run now. It's pretty modern, and you get through in a jiffy. Alright, I'm Chris Ted. Make sure to check out my other videos. Plenty from Bali going up. Till next time, getting back on the road. Woo!